Recently, I was asked by a good friend of mine if I'd be interested in joining a Christmas collab with a bunch of other Terraria YouTubers, and naturally, I said yes. So after a bit of back and forth and a bit of me struggling to set up my live stream, I was finally ready to start playing. Though since it took me so long to set up my stream, virtually everyone had already left spawn, leaving me almost completely alone, along with leaving my live chat having absolutely no clue what the rules were. And since rules are pretty important, especially in this challenge, I'm going to quickly play this clip which explains the general idea of what's going on. So this is medium core. We're supposed to beat up to Wall of Flesh. There's going to be several Grinches and there's going to be several present carriers. The present carriers, their goal is to keep the present safe. The Grinch's goal is to steal the presents from the present carriers. If the Grinches get all the presents, they win. That's a bunch of bees. What is this? What is this? It's so over, dude. It's so
Oh, Link! No!
Help!
I got you!
No!
No! No!
It's
I'm
tragic.
so sad.
Okay, so this death right here may not seem all that important, especially since it was so early on and I had yet to gather actual resources, but in reality, I was panicking. You see, before I started my stream, I was informed by Tubsy that I was chosen to be one of the 5 gift carriers, and since I just lost everything in my inventory, I was worried that I might have already lost my gift so early on. Though thankfully this was not the case, as not long later, Tubsy made a public announcement that all gift carriers had just received their gifts, and of course, as soon as I got my gift, I ended up almost dying immediately to another swarm of bees, and it was here that I realized that it probably wasn't the greatest idea to bomb rush the jungle with absolutely nothing to protect myself with. So after heading back to spawn, along with pilfering another set of vanity from the cabin, I decided to form an alliance with another good friend of mine, Mod, where it quickly became apparent that working in groups may be a bit difficult considering the fact that PvP is perpetually enabled, and it was also here where I managed to suffer my second death, not by the hands of Mod, but rather by an undead Viking. So after heading back to the tundra to recollect my items, I headed back to spawn once more, where, well, this happened.
That's what happens when we're in classic
How many
mode.
eyes?
What is happening?
Alright, that's just my message
This
to
is what I wanted.
I'm so sorry for this chaotic stream. I have no
This
idea
is
what's
highly
going on.
unreasonable.
Anyway, after all the Eyes of Cthulhu were killed off and getting an absolutely massive donation of the Light's Bane from Rasmodi, we were all once again gathered together for a snowman building contest. And as it turns out, snowman building isn't necessarily my strongest suit. 3 more minutes? Oh, hell no. This is gonna be so awful, dude. I'm gonna get dead last. I'm not even gonna have anything built in the 3 minutes because I keep breaking it. We're finally building something. It's crazy. We're being productive with our time. All right, so we're gonna go with the Silt Eyes because he's not the nicest snowman. He's a little evil. But you gotta respect that. Because if you don't respect that, he will not respect your personal boundaries. Dude! Stop. Oh god. I really wanted to like at least fill my snowman's body. I got like a skeleton. Wait, they're still building. Hold up. You don't see this. I wonder if I could give him a slush hat or something. There we go. He looks a little bit better now.
But whose terrible one is this?
It's mine. I know it's it.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
No, it's actually bad, dude. I ran out of blocks like 8 times.
And the final one, this one's pretty good. It looks like a snowman. It has a nice little hat. I like it.
After the judges finished judging the builds, where I, to the surprise of nobody, failed to place in the top 3, we were once again left to do our own thing, when the collaboration took an unexpected turn. Okay, so for this next clip, I feel there needs to be a bit of context, and at the time I wasn't aware of this, but apparently before the server was set up, Tubsy had scattered several ice chests around the world with some really overpowered gear inside of it, hence why throughout the video you may have noticed others using items which would otherwise be impossible to obtain at the point of progression we were at. However, inside of the lodge, there was a single locked shadow chest with a bunch of endgame loot which was supposed to be accessed much later on in the event. However, someone had apparently managed to unlock it, take the loot, and distribute it to a couple of players, and because of this, along with some players having griefed the world, the host of this event, Tubsy, understandably got a bit upset and decided to end the event a little earlier than expected in a grand display of death and destruction. After the server shut down, we were informed that the mass slaughtering and shutting down of the server was a direct result of a bunch of players griefing the world, breaking rules, and overall derailing the entire event. However, this wouldn't be the end of the collaboration, as Tubsy was planning to redo it with a lot less players, and seeing as I was one of the few who didn't grief, I was invited to the second attempt, and now that I knew what to expect, I started to form a plan. Going into the second day of recording, I knew that the only way to keep up with or potentially surpass everyone else was to find as many ice chests as possible, and to my surprise, right before we started playing, I managed to do just that, as Tubsy had teleported into a small cave directly underneath spawn, revealing an ice chest which to my surprise, seemingly nobody else had noticed, except for Afrosia, but that doesn't matter seeing as he completely disregarded it. So the moment we were told that we could start, I booked it to said small cave, whereupon opening the chest, I realized just how lucky I was that Tubsy had leaked the chest location. Oh, that's huge! What? 70? 72 life crystals? He's crazy for that one. Oh my god. But my luck didn't end there, as I also proceeded to come across a partially looted ice chest which still contained 2 Hermes boots, along with finding a 3rd ice chest in the jungle, which turned out to be an absolute gold mine. And it's a good thing I found all this loot when I did, because mere minutes later, someone decided to do a bit of trolling and summoned Queen Bee. Seeing as it was still so early on in the event, I was worried that an enraged Queen Bee might end up killing everyone else, including the other 2 gift carriers. And I might have forgotten to mention this, but I may or may not have been randomly chosen as a gift carrier for a second time. Either way, not wanting to let the Grinches have an upper hand, I headed back to spawn and braced myself for the inevitable fight, which unsurprisingly didn't last long. However, for my brave heroics, Tubsy decided to reward me with 20 gingerbread cookies. Now, it may not seem that 20 gingerbread cookies is all that great of a reward for saving literally everybody from a deranged mutant bee, but there's something I've yet to mention, and that is the item shop. You see, in order to promote teamwork, Tubsy had set up a system where doing good deeds rewards the player with gingerbread cookies, which in turn could then be spent at the item shop for virtually any item you want, except there's no concrete price tag, and with Seffi, the person running the shop loves to haggle deals. So after Queen Bee died, I headed over to buy myself a pair of Red's wings for 7 cookies, not only giving me much greater mobility, but also completely removing the threat of fall damage. From here, we were all gathered together inside the lodge for a gift exchange, which I didn't really mention in the first attempt, seeing as it was a total mess and completely unorganized. But the main thing you need to know is that for the next boss, you can only use the weapon that you were gifted. During the gift exchange, Wexel gave Prisma a snowball launcher, Megaswave gave me a firecracker, Yardis gave Wexel a flare gun along with specifically 39 flares, Prisma gave Stylus a gold bow along with some flaming arrows, Stylus gave Megaswave a flaming mace, and I decided to one-up everyone else by giving Afrosia not 1 but 2 gifts. My ice boomerang along with 5 life crystals, which you could argue is not as good as the firecracker I just received, but it's about quantity, not quality. As for everyone else, they had already given their recipients gifts prior to the gift swap, and I honestly have no clue what those gifts were. So with the gift giving coming to an end, it was time to put our new weapons to use. So we once again headed outside to fight the Eye of Cthulhu, which, considering the fact that I was able to solo the enraged Queen Bee with a worse weapon, this wasn't much of a fight. So I may or may not have suggested there be a couple more eyes. Anyway, after all the eyes were disposed of, it was once again time for the infamous snowman building competition. And while I was struggling to even come up with an idea, some interesting events were unfolding on the plot directly next to mine. What are you building?
It's the tall man.
Ignore me.
Don't worry, I won't say anything. Okay, so this is the midpoint. So
This is for later.
Oh.
Okay, so now that Mega can't hear us because we're so far away, I put these here because I am going to use the yellow solution to turn all of his snow into sand.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Yep, I'm doing it. There's no stopping me.
Hello.
Hey, are you building on my build?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you know what? Fair enough.
Is this just a really
That's
tall
me.
snow among us?
Yeah.
Why am I not surprised?
Am I supposed to be like down there? Like, am I supposed to be hearing rules and instructions?
I don't even know where they're at.
You could.
We're just bullying him.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
Mary Tubsy.
That's not very nice. Put that back.
Dude, I think we're gonna have to disqualify you. You don't even have a snowman.
What? He doesn't have a snowman? Anyway, once the snowman building competition came to an end, where I once again filled a place in the top 3, we were once again let loose to do our own thing, when I noticed that Megaswave had killed Stylus. Oh. I think it's Megaswave. I think he's the Grinch, because he killed someone. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. And what did he have? He had an aerial bane. Oh, that's not good. That's not good for me.
Hello.
Is he the Grinch?
Who?
Megaswave?
Maybe? Like, it's hard to say.
Yeah, I think it's quite difficult to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay still. Would you? Do you got a present?
Did he just... I'm taking the Student Rider boots. While that interaction with Stylus was certainly off-putting, I didn't really think much about it until roughly 5 minutes later when I noticed he died yet again. Oh. Mott's killing people as well. I don't know who's the Grinch now. Okay, I might want to buy stuff with the gingerbread, not gonna lie. I don't know what though. I know someone had
This
mentioned
is
earlier.
just
Oh, hello. How many times have you died?
fantastic. So many.
Okay, he's trying to kill me again.
How did you get wings going?
I'm not gonna tell him anything. I'm just gonna run away. Seeing as this was now the second time Stylus tried to kill me, I started to have my suspicions, and decided it might be a good idea to buy myself some protection despite having made a vow of pacifism earlier on. So I returned to the shop to purchase myself the Eventide, though unfortunately the third time we crossed paths, it seems Stylus had brought some backup, and since we were told there was only one Grinch in the game, I made the mistake of letting my guard down.
Hey, Crispylink. What's going on?
No.
Hello.
You got a murder weapon on you.
I do have a murder weapon. Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. Let me get rid of that guy.
Ow!
Sorry. There's a slime or something that was after.
Ow!
Yeah, there's a slime. Let me go take care of that real quick.
Was that why he was shooting me?
It's because of the slime. Ow. Rude. Well, that sucks. Unfortunately, letting my guard down, along with trying my best to be a pacifist even in the face of danger, ended in my own demise. And while I didn't drop all the items in my inventory due to the soft medium core mod bugging out, my gift was later removed from my inventory by the moderators and given to Stylus, who I'm sure you've all figured out is the Grinch by now. Having lost my gift, I felt empty. After all, keeping the gift safe was pretty much my only job, and yet I failed to do even that. So for the next couple of minutes, I pretty much just aimlessly roamed the world, not caring nor paying attention as to what was going on around me. When I suddenly stumbled into a meeting I most certainly was not supposed to overhear.
You'll be three
Whoa, whoa,
with
whoa.
me.
Whoa, whoa, we have.
kidding.
Get
Well,
out of here! No! I don't trust the damn slow.
Alright, let's go. Yeah,
Really?
I'm in.
What's going on?
Okay. I prefer if you keep it to a team of 3, preferably.
Can it be a team of 4?
Yeah.
3 at most. Because, you know, three Grinch.
Yeah, this is a bit
Our
awkward.
crows
Hey,
are
listen.
influenced.
Did this say team of 3 Grinches? What was going on down there, Tubsy? What is going on? Ah!
What do you mean?
Ah!
What are you talking about?
I need to run. I need to run. I've got ops. I've got ops, dude. Dude, the host is after me. I'm not safe. Ah!
You can't escape from me. Wait, do you have PvP on?
I have PvP on, yes. I need to run. Why are you doing this to me?
Whoa, hey, I don't want to get caught.
What is this? What have I done to deserve this? I've done nothing wrong. Why did I have to die?
Dude, oh.
I did nothing wrong. Why? What was that about? Thinking that losing my gift and being hunted down by the host of the event was bad enough, we were once again brought together for the second gift exchange, where, lo and behold, the person giving me a gift was none other than Stylus.
I have.
You killed me.
It's no hard feelings. I don't know what was going on. You know, everybody's killing each other.
I've killed no one.
This is
I've killed
this
no
is-
one.
This is a very.
You killed the one
Tubbsy
person who has
Christmas.
been a pacifist this entire time.
Well, here's to make it better. Here's a boomstick. Now you can kill someone you want to.
I'm still going to hold my vow of pacifism.
Good vow.
Thank you. Merry
Merry
Tubbsmas.
Tubbsmas.
Oh, and in case you're wondering, no, he never gave me bullets. Anyway, it was eventually my turn to do the gift giving, and I decided to, unlike Stylus, actually give proper gifts to the person I was gifting to. Wexel. Wexel Radley, my boy. You know, I've been trying to
Crispylink.
I've been trying to, you know, give a couple things, not just like a singular item every single time. So, this time around, I'm going to be giving you 21 B-nades, the bloody machete, this little goofy thing, and I'm also going to toss in a fruitcake chakram for you as well.
What?
Ooh.
I hope that does you well.
There's so many things here.
I know you got a variety of items you can use for
great
this
present.
fight.
Tubbsy of you.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
Tubbsy.
so Tubbsmas.
Well,
I hope that serves you well.
I'm definitely feeling jolly with this. Thank you very much for that.
Very
Really
tells
quick-
me. With the gift exchange completed, we once again prepared to fight the next boss, the Wall of Flesh, and since a certain someone failed to provide me the proper ammunition for my weapon, I pretty much sat out on the sidelines the entire fight while everyone else had the fun of actually participating. But once the wall was eventually defeated, it was time for the final and main event, the scavenger hunt. Okay, now, you remember that lockshot chest that I mentioned earlier on in the video, the one with a ton of endgame loot? Well, the scavenger hunt is where it's originally supposed to be accessed, and the only way to open the chest is if you found all 7 clues scattered around the world, along with obtaining the 6 garlands, which could be found next to each clue. So while Tubbsy was explaining the whole premise of the scavenger hunt, I was already reading the first clue, which was in the upper part of the cabin, with that hint being, I'm where worms and lions can wreak havoc. If you fall down this hole, it could be very tragic, with the first letter of the code being the letter F. So once Tubbsy said that we could start the hunt, I immediately booked it to the desert, where sure enough, the second clue was hiding in an antlion mound, with that clue being, if I were a wyvern, this may be my lair, up above the dungeon, you may lack some air, with the second letter in the code being E. So after grabbing the first garland, we continued left in order to find the dungeon, and sure enough, directly above the dungeon was a sky lake with the third clue, with this one reading as followed. In a challenge between David and I, a colorful bird's home made us cry. With trees, leaves, and things that can snatch, you may need a friend or even a batch, with the third letter in the code being the letter S. So after making sure to grab the second garland, I started my way towards the jungle, and while the first clues were easy enough to find, this one took me my fair share of searching, and when I finally found the clue, it took me even longer to decipher it. Long enough in fact that my lead over everyone else started to dwindle as Wexel Radley had caught up to me. Oh, and what's the clue that took me so long to decipher, you may be wondering? Well, it's a bit of a long one. Inside this hive, you may feel sticky, but your next destination will be very tricky. With anger and hatred and even some gore, this trip may find you a bit of a bore. With a linear trip to ease the mind, you head straight down as if you were blind. If you reach this place, you may be scared, but to make it easy, the next hint will be in the air, with the fourth letter being T. Almost immediately, I realized this next hint was probably in the underworld, so I'm not sure why it took me so long to start searching, but since the clue had specifically stated you head straight down as if you were blind, I tried digging down from where I was rather than the pre-existing elevator at spawn, and since I only had a copper pickaxe, this took me a lot longer than I'd like to admit. And once I got into the underworld, I realized I'd been duped, with the clue actually being under spawn all along. Not knowing if I was still in the lead or not, I started to rush a bit when reading the fifth hint, but since I saw the words sand and shores along with talking about an NPC in some rather strong language, I immediately went to the right beach where the angler was at, and while I didn't see a chest out in the open, I realized that this was the same side of the world as the shimmer, and sure enough, there had clearly been some player activity digging down, where I noticed the final clue. So with one final leap, I missed. But after making my way back up to the surface of the shimmer, I lined myself up with a small hole once more, and just like that, I made it to the last chest where I pocketed the final garland. Having reached the end of the scavenger hunt, we were all called back to the lodge where I was asked to recite the 7-letter code along with providing all 6 of the garlands, but as I was looking at my inventory, my heart dropped. I only had 5. I missed one, and worse yet, I had no idea which. So after abruptly leaving the lodge without providing much context, I tried my best to retrace my steps, but unfortunately before I could find which garland I missed, Wexel did what I could not and got all 6. But while Wexel was claiming his loot, something sinister was taking place in that very room. While I wasn't aware of it at the moment, this single action signaled the end of the challenge. Up till this moment, only a single present remained out of the hands of the Grinch, or more so Grinches, as there were now 3, but as the TNT barrel blew up, one of the 4 victims, Yardis, dropped the final gift. Oh, and the worst part, even worse than the Grinch's winning, I actually had found the last garland earlier on, but completely forgot about it by the time the scavenger hunt took place. Oh, what is this? Hint number 6. I'm sure we're not supposed to be here. I'm just not going to take anything. I'm not even going to read what the sign says, because we're not supposed to do the scavenger hunt yet. But I will keep that in mind.